I want to tell you a little bit about what to expect for this Sunday. I'm going to take this mask off, but so that you guys can hear me. But what I want to tell you, and the reason why I'm wearing the mask is nobody's here at the church right now. But I wanted to let you know that as we come up to the church this Sunday, we will be open for worship. But every single one of us that enter the church building will need to be wearing masks. And I'll tell you why this is important. This last week, as a church board, we voted in a policy, and I know that we put it online, we put it in emails, but it's also here on our church door. And the policy outlines exactly what we're planning on doing to keep everyone safe in worship. And one of the things that we put forth is that we are wanting everyone to wear a mask in service. What this means is that if you don't want to wear a mask into service this Sunday, then we will invite you to come back for when we start phase 2 for a worship service that has restrictions lifted. But as of right now, we, as the church board, has voted in its policy. That means that in order to be safe and to stay true to our word, that we need, as we put out a policy, we have to follow it. So when we come together, we will be wearing masks. So you'll encounter our ushers wearing masks, and they will walk us in and sit us down in pews. And now they will designate which pews you will be sitting in, because we have set up the church for social distancing. We will have sanitizer on hand and gloves if somebody would like to have either one of those. We also have taken all the hymnals and Bibles out of the pews, and we will not have any paper bulletins to hold in our hands to limit the amount of exposure that each person has. As we come in and the ushers will sit us down, I'm going to show you the seats really quick. As you can see, each one of the rows of pews have been changed in just a little bit as we've lifted up the pew pads to mark which pews we won't be sitting in. So as you can see, every other pew is made so that nobody will be sitting in it. And what our idea is when an usher comes in to set people down, they will set people from, let's say if you're on the front row, they'll set the family on the right side, and then there'll be an empty pew. And then the next family that will be sat all the way on the left side. And this is how we're going to seat people all through the church. Our capacity seats about 200. We will we can seat then safely about 40 people in our sanctuary. And then we can sit about 15 down below. If we run out of space, we will hold a second service at 12 o'clock, but only if we run out of space and people say that they want to come back for the 12 o'clock service. So don't expect to come to the 12 o'clock service. Now, unless we are overfilled, come to the 10:30 service. We will still have an online presence. It will be a little shorter because it'll be abbreviated version. It will be what we're having here in the sanctuary, which means we're limited in song. We won't have kids time. We won't have small groups. But we will have Sunday school at 9 o'clock online through Zoom. If you want to join us for that, we are doing a 1 Peter study. So join us during Sunday school and then come to church in person. But even to ensure safety, we're putting a piece of plexiglass on the pulpit as well, because as you heard, speaking up there with a mask on, it impedes what I'm saying. So we're going to put up a barrier so that other people are safe as well. So when you come to the church on Sunday morning, you can expect our guidelines to be followed, and you could expect to be safe when you come here. What we put forth as our word, as our policy, is what we will adhere to. And so I guarantee that is what we will be doing. I encourage each one of us to come with love and grace and patience as we are all exploring this together, but also come with an attitude that we are making history. You know, we have been joining the disciples for weeks now, long before Lent, and now we have been with them through the resurrection of Christ. And they are looking at what it means to move from that point where they're encountering a resurrected Christ and getting ready to go into the world. And they are standing on the cusp of history. You know, those times when people are in the midst of history being made, they don't always recognize it. I'm sure the disciples didn't actually know the impact of what was happening. I'm sure that just as us this Sunday, when we're coming together, this may seem like a real inconvenience, but we are also making history. We will be taking a picture, and those of you that can't be with us, I understand that, but know that you are with us in spirit, because just as we are the church, not because of this building, but because of the body of Christ, we are all united together. So we will be coming together. We will be wearing our mask. We will be taking a picture for the history books. Because when people look back on this in 100 years and they say, how did you make it through as a church? We are going to say we made it through because of the love of Jesus Christ, the unity of which he has put within us, to stay connected even through this, and the fact that we were able to stay truthful to our word. So what we voted in as a church and what we put forth and what we said to the people that we would keep them safe, we did that. And that is how we made it through. So as we come together with an expectation of safety, of love, and an encounter of God in the midst of all of this. So if you can and you are able, come join us for worship. Join us online, join us in person. If you're in person, wear your mask and continue to stay safe and grace-filled in all that you do. Thank you, Fairfax, for being the church family that you are.